Hi crafters, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards and I am really excited to be sharing with you today a slightly different project. So we're going to be creating this beautiful DL card using some of our brand new products from the Flower Builder collection. We're going to be using the new Scalloped and Pierced DL dies to create a lovely background as well, so that's going to create our card shape. So let's dive on in and get started. So to start with, I'm going to take a sheet of A4 white card and I'm just going to fold that in half. You can use a scoreboard if you've got one. I've got one at home, but not in my little filming studio here. So I'm just going to fold that down in half. We're then going to take our die set. So this is our Scalloped and Pierced dies here. So we're going to start with the largest one, which is this lovely scalloped rectangle. We're going to place this down in place onto the card like so. And then we're going to take some low tack tape just to secure that down. And you'll notice I've just hung the edge of that die over the fold of my card. That's what's going to keep it in one piece and create that lovely shaped card blank that we're after. So I'm going to use my Gemini next to die cut this out. So I'm going to use my base plate, my plastic shim. I'm going to put my metal shim in as well because my Gemini's getting a little bit old now, so it's going a little bit looser. And then I'm going to use my cutting plate on the top and we're going to send that through. So if we lift that out, you will then see that we've got our lovely die cut card blank. Just take away where that low tack tape is. There we go. So that then creates our little shaped card blank. What I'm then going to do is take another piece of white card and I'm just going to trim this down just a little bit. So we only really need a little strip. We can use that on another project. So we're going to take our die, we're going to pop it on top of that little bit of white card there. We'll use a little bit of low tack tape just to hold that in place as it goes through the die cutting machine. Like so. And then we're going to run that through. So we're just cutting a rectangle on its own this time. And then when we grab that from the other side, we will have a lovely die cut rectangle ready to go onto the front of our card. So what I've then done is taken my little chisel tip glue pen and I've just gone around the edge, covered it with some Crystallina glitter and then stuck this rectangle onto the front of my card. So I've got one that's dry here. So that then creates your little shaped DL card blank. So what we're then going to do is I've already done this a little bit ahead of time. So I've had a little look in our lovely Pastel Rainbow Delight paper pad. And I've actually chosen this lovely kind of marbly pink pattern. So I've taken the next die down, which is this one here. And I've die cut that out using this lovely pink patterned paper. So just give that a little shuffle. So we're going to stick that down flat onto our card blank. And again, these papers are gorgeous. It's really hard to decide which side to use, really. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my PVA glue just to stick this down. Stick that down flat in the middle. There we go. And then next up, we've taken the next die down again, which is a lovely scallop design. So it's this one here, the third one in. And I've just die cut that from some white card. And again, I've edged that using a little bit of Crystallina glitter. So again, we'll just peel the backs off these here. so, and then we'll stick that down onto our card blank. So the next part is I've taken the next die down, which is this one, and we're just going to die cut that from a piece of plain white card. So we'll just pop that down in place onto our card, tape that down, and then we'll grab our plates and just run this through. There we go, and then we'll just open that out and you'll see the detail that we've got on these dies is beautiful. You can see the little pierced detailing around the edge, which looks fabulous. So what we're going to do next is I like to try and keep my dies on the magnetic sheet, just so that we don't lose them as we're going halfway through. So what we're then going to do is take our embossing folder. So this is the Flower Swirl design, and I'm going to position this little piece in the embossing folder. So we've kind of got the whole of the middle sized flower in, and then we've got like a little bit of the larger flower. So I'm going to shuffle it along just a little bit more, probably about there. I think is going to look quite good for this one. So then I might even go up a little bit further. This is the thing, so you can just sit and play until you're happy. So yeah, I think that looks good there. So now we've got that in our folder, we're going to send this through our die cutting machine. So we're going to send this through our Gemini. So this is a 3D folder, so I'm just using my base plate and my plastic shim. Now, if you find that the embossing's not quite deep enough, you can pop the metal shim in as well, and that just gives it a little bit of extra welly. Sometimes, especially if like our machine is getting quite old and it's been well used, sometimes that just helps. But you can see how beautiful and deep that embossing is just on plain white card. It is amazing. So what you're then going to do is you're going to take some dry clear glue. So it's this one here. And I'm going to go in and use the little metal tip just to go around the little swirly design. Just going to grab a baby wipe for my fingers there because I'm covered in glue. So literally, you're just going to go in and you're just going to go into the design. Just a very light pressure on the bottle. You're just going to work your way around and trace all of the little swirls that we've got on here and the little leaves. There we go. And then we're going to take some scrap paper and we're just going to cover this with a bit of glitter. So I'm using, you could use lime zinc, or if you've got grasshopper already. I think I've used grasshopper on the original one, which is an older glitter. And then this is lime zinc. So when that dries down, you're going to get a lovely green effect on that foliage. So we'll pop that to one side. And then I have, of course, got one that's already dry because you don't want to kind of stick that layer down yet. So this is the one that I've got that is dry. So I'm going to pop some foam pads just under the back of here. And again, it's completely up to you how dimensional you make your projects. I like mine to be pretty 3D, but if you're posting these, you could just stick all of the layers flat if you really wanted to. There's no right or wrong way to do anything. And that's the thing with crafting. I think that's what's so nice about it. So we're just going to take the backs off of the foam pads like this. And then we're just going to position that down onto our little base card. Like so. Now what I've done on my finished sample is I've gone in with some little crystals, but I like to do that at the end. So I'm going to show you how to create the beautiful pink flowers next. So we're going to take the little vellum pad Let me just check I've got some in the right colour left in that one. So we're just going to pick that lovely flower design. So I'm going to take 2 different ones. Sorry, not 2 different ones. It's this design I want. I was thinking that doesn't look quite the same. So it's the pink one with the orange in the middle that we're using. So to do this project, you're going to need 2 sheets of that. I'll show you how to do it once, and then I have got one that I've already done at home. So what we're then going to do is take our scissors, and what I find is just a little bit easier is if you just snip a little bit off the top of the vellum. Now, if you wanted to, you could do it with your guillotine or with your trimmer, but I just tend to use my scissors. And then I'm just going to take that vellum and I'm going to just line it up in the embossing folder like so. And because you can see through the embossing folder, you can see kind of where you are lining this up at. So I just tend to aim for the orange in the centre. And it's one of those things, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So position that down. We're then going to grab in our plates again. So I'm going to use my base plate and my plastic shim. Might put the metal one in. I'll see how this comes out because vellum's quite thin. So we'll send that through the die cutting machine. I'm going to put my pin in my glue. A little card out of the way. Let's open this up and have a little look. You ready for the grand reveal? I'm going to put that back in with the metal shim actually. I think it just needs a little bit more. So send that back through. Bear with. There we go. So just send that through our machine. And then we're going to grab that when it comes out the other side. So then if we open that up, look at that embossed effect that we've got on there. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you can see how pretty that then looks. So we're then going to take the little coordinating dies. So what I tend to do is I cut them all out and then I'll put the ones that I don't use in a little box to use on another project. So I'm going to take a little bit of low tack tape and I'm going to go in and just position my little dies down. Now it is a little bit easier if you look directly above. But I don't want to lean to get my head in the camera, otherwise you are not going to see much at home. So just do the best that I can here. So yeah, just line those up. And then we're going to send that through our die cutting machine. So I'm actually going to leave my metal shim in as a die cut this time, just with it being on vellum. And then we'll take our cutting plate to go on the top and we'll just send that through. Are we ready? There we go. And then we'll just grab that at the other side. We'll push our flowers out. I need to move just a little bit there. But there we go. You can see the beautiful flowers that we've then got die cut. So what I've done is I've taken some that I've already done. Let me just show you these ones. Put that to one side. I'm just going to collect my little dies together just so that I don't lose any of these while I'm showing you how to create this project. There we go. So I've got some that I've already done. So I've got 2 large and 2 medium. And then what I've done is traced the middle of them with some of our Dries Clear PVA. And then I've just covered them with the Crystallina glitter. But because that Crystallina glitter is transparent, the colour from underneath is going to shine through. So if we grab our card back in there, we're then going to take these flowers and we're going to just pinch the petals. So we're kind of creating a little mountain fold down the middle. Like so. And then we're going to take our glue I'm going to pop a blob of glue into the middle of each of the flowers. And then we're just going to position these down on the top. So I'm going to put that one there. And then I'll just put that one there. So I'm just going to hold those just to allow that glue a little bit of time to grab. And then I'm going to go back in again. I'm going to put another little blob of glue on there. And then we'll take this and stick the other ones just directly over the top. Like so. Okay. So next up, I want to show you how to create these lovely little flower centres. So we're going to be using one of the dies that you do get in the set. So you're just going to take a little scrap of orange card, like orange paper, orange card, anything like that. You're going to pop your die down, tape it in place, and just send that through your die cutting machine. And then we can just grab that when that comes out the other side. There we go. So then we'll take our little die cut kind of stamen design. Okay. And then we want to add a little bit of some pearls onto here. So the pearls that I'm using are from the Leafy Lace pearl box. Just this one here. Sorry, it was in one of my other little demo boxes there. So then all I've done is taken the pearls, taken that die cut. Let me get a little bit of a baby wipe for the glue there. Going to end up just covered in PVA glue by the end of this. There we go. Right. So then you're going to take your glue and you're going to put a little bit just on the edge of each of these little kind of circles. So just work around, a little bit of glue, and then we're going to take one of the larger pearls and that's going to go straight into the middle. It's going to go there. And then we're going to take some of the smaller pearls from the box. And we're going to go in and just pop these onto each of the little kind of outer pieces, like so. So I have got some that I've already done that we can kind of bring in. Grab a few more of the little pearls. There we go. So you then leave that to dry like this, okay? Then once it's dry, they're a little bit more kind of robust is probably the right word to use. So we can then bring those in. I'm going to take the little stamen and then all I do is literally like squish them like that in the middle. Dead easy. Then you're going to put a little bit of glue just into the middle of the flower. And then we can stick this one down here. So just going to hold that, let it set. Do the same with this one. Pop that down and just hold that in the middle and just let that kind of set. Okay, and then we're going to create some of the pretty little butterflies to go in the background. So So to do that, I've just used a little scrap of the lovely pink patterned paper. To be fair, you could have cut it from the middle of the matte layer if you wanted. It just pops your little dies in the middle there. So I've cut the solid ones and the filigree ones. And then what we're going to do is take our scrap paper in. We're going to take the little butterflies. And we're going to take our Crystallina glitter. And a chisel tip glue pen. And then all I'm going to do is just cover the little butterflies with a bit of chisel tip glue, and then you can just dunk that in. Then we can do the same again. And just dunk that in. So you can see that then gives you the lovely bit of sparkle on the butterflies there. And then next up, we're going to start to stick these down onto the card. So just a little bit of glue onto the back. And I'm going to stick this one here. And then we're going to take a little bit of glue, stick the other one about here. And then we can take the glittery ones. We're just going to bend down the middle. Little bit of glue, and we'll stick this one here, and then the same again, a little bit of glue, squish that down the middle, and just stick that down there. And I'm only gluing the middle because then it looks like the little butterflies are flying. And then next up, we're going to take the little hello, which is from our sentiment builder set. And I'm going to take that and pop that onto my acrylic block. Like so. We are then going to take just a little scrap of white card. So this is actually part of my die cutting that we did earlier. And I'm going to use a VersaFine Clear ink pad in Morning Mist. So that's just a nice soft grey. Going to position that down and press, and then we'll lift that off, and then we are going to take our guillotine and just trim this down. Trim that little piece down, and then we're going to take our foam pads, and I'll take some scissors just so I can trim a little piece off. Put that on the back of there, and then we'll just position that one down just onto the corner. Like so, and then you would just finish off by adding in some little jewels. So I've just used the little self-adhesive sparkles, so I've kind of put them just down the middle of the butterfly. So I've used the more rosy pink ones here. So, and then we're going to take some of these ones, which are really pretty because they're like a, keep pinging them about, there we go, like a more transparent kind of pinky colour. So you can take these and just dot, I like to just kind of dot them about in the background a little bit. And I do think, I feel like it just finishes your projects off. Like it looks a little bit like little dewdrops, I always think, which is really pretty. So you can just dot a few of these about, and what I would do is use different sizes as well. Don't just use all the small ones or all the big ones. But then you can see how that then creates this lovely project. So that is using the brand new Flower Builder collection from Chloe's Creative Cards. Now, as always, I've listed all of the materials in the little description below, so please do have a little look in there. And yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. All the links to the website are in the description as well, so please do have a look. I really hope to see you again soon, and thank you for joining me for this video. Bye!